Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we're gonna do a little review of the Detroit Pro 2025, and we got a lot of interesting things to talk about. Some of them were expected, like William Bonac's victory, and the others, well, not so much. We're gonna talk about all of them. As far as William Bonac winning again, he deserved that for sure. He almost looks as good as he did back when he was at his best in 2018, 19, 20. Not there, not quite there yet, and he probably won't get there now. I mean, he's at the end of his career, I would guess, but he's definitely better, a lot better than last year. And Hirati actually looked amazing as well. But I wouldn't say it was a close battle. I still thought Bonac was winning for sure, especially because of the back shots. But in all the other poses, Sas looked amazing. And if he continues competing, he can win a pro show and qualify for the Mr. Olympia. We'll see if he's actually going to continue competing. But if he does, yeah, I can see him winning a pro show. As far as James Hollinshead, I think he was better than he was at the Arnold Classic. I don't know if it is maybe just the lighting, but in these photos and in this video as well, he definitely does look better than before. I would say potentially better than ever. You know, he was big and conditioned and full and everything. He just wasn't on the level of conditioning like William Bonac and Sas Hirati. Like, he still needs to get the glutes and hamstrings and lower back a little bit sharper, harder. And overall, he just doesn't have the same details or the shape or the size for his frame and everything like that. But he was in that third place very firmly. I don't think there was ever a question of him placing lower than that. Now, here is one very interesting thing from the Open class. It is Carlos Thomas Jr., who showed up. Apparently, he wasn't sure if he was going to compete at this show because you guys saw him at the Arnold Classic. His conditioning was nowhere near ready. He had only 3 weeks in between to prepare for this show. Did he improve his conditioning? I would say no. No, the lighting is better, so maybe he looks better, but no, I don't think his conditioning is improved at all. It's still pretty bad. It's still like 5-6 weeks out conditioning. And now, what is interesting about this guy is, yeah, by the way, he placed 7th at this show. Yeah, all the way down in 7th. I mean, the guy has so much potential, man. Like, he can be one of the top guys if he actually nails the conditioning, but he has real troubles with that. Now, you might remember, I made a video about him recently, and I said that he changed a coach. You guys know that he was coached by Patrick Tuor for the Arnold Classic, and after the Arnold Classic, Chris Cormier said on that podcast that Carlos has a new coach. And after I made a video, Carlos denied the rumors. He DM'd me. He told me he doesn't know where Chris got information. Apparently, he was still working with Patrick Tuor. But if you go to Carlos's account or Patrick's account, you will see no mentions of Patrick on Carlos's account or of Carlos on Patrick's account. And Patrick always posts a ton of posts when his guys are competing. He posted a bunch of stories yesterday, and there is nothing about Carlos Thomas Jr. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure Carlos was not prepped by Patrick Tuor. Not for this show, man, no. Now, when all that happened, when I made that video about him switching a coach, I heard a rumor. I didn't want to talk about that publicly because I don't know if it is true or not, but there was a rumor that he actually went to Chris Aceto after the Arnold. But Carlos didn't mention Chris Aceto in any of his posts, and Aceto didn't mention Carlos on his social media. So I'm guessing they did not start working yet, and I would also guess that if they actually worked together for the past 3 weeks, Carlos would bring better conditioning than what he did here. But we'll see about that. Maybe they're gonna start working like for the next prep or something like that. As of right now, I'm pretty sure Carlos is no longer coached by Patrick Tuor, and he also failed to deliver conditioning at this show and placed all the way down in 7th. Alright, the next thing that happened, and this was, at least for me, very much unexpected, Wesley Wissers actually ended up losing to Matthew Grego. Matthew Grego won the Detroit Pro Classic Physique. And I was watching the prejudging, and I was pretty sure Wesley was winning, and I thought he was just improved enough. And I thought with his shape, with his symmetry, with his proportions and classic look, I thought he was gonna win it. I mean, let's take a look at this one more time. Yeah, I can see that Wesley is not 100%. You can see the flatness in his chest, especially right here, and basically in his arms. Overall, he's still flat from that Arnold Classic sickness, whatever it was. He didn't recover fully. He definitely brought a better peak, but it's still not the best Wesley. However, against Matthew Grego, I mean, here is what I thought Matthew was better at, like the lower body from behind, but the back itself, I would say Wesley's glutes are definitely an issue, a lot smaller than Matthew's, but Wesley also came with fuller quads, maybe even better quads than Matt's quads. And then the shape, the balance of the physique, the presentation, the posing, all that, I mean, conditioning was definitely comparable, I would say. Yeah, Wesley might not be at his absolute best here, but I still thought he was beating Matt Grego. I still don't really know how Matthew won, but I was watching the live stream, and before they announced the winner, Ian Wallier also thought that Matt was winning. And Ian was there, obviously, so maybe it was different in person. And maybe, again, the judges don't really care about the shape, about the classic lines. Because Wesley is obviously way more classic, and maybe you can say Matthew's a better bodybuilder because he's maybe more complete because he has better lower body from behind, better glutes. That's it. I think it is pretty safe to say that Matt Grego won this show because he had better glutes, better ass, right? I mean, other than that, tell me what he is better at. Even hamstrings, I think Wesley's are probably better and bigger. Better back, better arms, better chest, better shape, better classic lines, a taller man, bigger man, conditioning, very, very comparable, fullness as well, overall the peak. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how Wesley managed to lose this one. Why the judges gave this victory to Matt. I mean, if I didn't know better, I would say there is some sort of politics against Wesley. But I don't think that's it. I guess the judges are judging this category way differently than what I think the way this category should be judged. So, yeah, again, Matthew Grego won this show. I don't want to say it was a robbery because I don't understand why would they not give it to Wesley if Wesley was better. I don't think there are any politics in this case right here. I guess the criteria for classic physique is, again, different than what I think it should be. I don't think a guy should win in classic physique because they have bigger or more conditioned glutes. But that's the way I see it. If you guys see it otherwise, tell me down below. Now I also gotta mention Jack Eagles as well, who took 5th at this show. And after watching him here, I think he improved his peak. I think he definitely came in fuller here than he did the Arnold Classic. Again, it's probably also the lighting as well, but now I can definitely see that this kid has potential. Yeah, he's very young. He's actually 22, not even 23 yet. And his conditioning here was very good. The shape is obviously there. It's gonna take him a couple of more years to actually get to the level of size as the other guys who are like top 10 at the Mr. Olympia, for him to be able to win pro shows, but the potential is definitely there. He does look very good. 5th place at the Detroit Pro. Alright, the next thing that was also really probably the most interesting thing at this show is finally we had an overall of the 2 categories. I mean, they actually put both winners of Classic Physique and Open Division on stage and they battled for the overall winner. And, I mean, this was entertaining for sure, but it's not like Matthew Grego has an actual chance of beating William Bonac. And after watching this, I kind of thought that maybe this is why they actually gave it to Matthew, because he looks more like a bodybuilder, and he definitely compares better to William Bonac than Wesley would. If it was Wesley on this stage compared to William Bonac, it would just look, silly. It would be too much of a case of apples and oranges. This you can compare, but there is no chance that Matthew Greco can win this. I mean, what is even the criteria in this kind of mashup? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the audience actually voted for the overall winner or the king of the Detroit Pro. So it's basically, voting for the guy you like more. It's not like there is an actual criteria, or it doesn't necessarily mean that the audience are gonna vote for who they think is actually better. Yeah, I know Fua talked about this very many times on his podcast. He wanted to see this like on the Mr. Olympia, 3 winners of 212, Classic and the Open together, but I mean, it's his show, he can do whatever he wants, and I'm sure this was very entertaining for the crowd, but I don't think it makes a lot of sense, because if a Classic guy wins the overall, then that kind of defeats the purpose of Classic Physique Division. Same thing with the 212. If a 212 guy can beat an Open guy, then why wouldn't every 212 competitor go to the Open? But yeah, it was definitely entertaining. We saw this like for the first time ever. I don't think there was ever a pro show in which we had an overall with an Open class winner and a Classic Physique winner. But again, it's not like Matthew stood a chance. This was purely for entertainment purposes. Like, it's the same as they did a guest posing after the show or something. But William Bonac also got a medal for this. You guys tell me down below, what do you think about this concept, and should they actually implement this to the other shows? Should this be like on the Mr. Olympia stage? I mean, me personally, yeah, I would love to see it, just to see how these guys compare, but I don't see the point, really. Like, I'm pretty sure an Open guy will always have to win, and that's it. But again, it's interesting to see these guys compared, like in a call-out like this. I'm curious if this was actually on the Mr. Olympia, would Chris Bumstead actually win every time and be the king of the Mr. Olympia? I don't know. Whatever you guys think, tell me down below. Alright, and the last thing we got in this video is a guest posing of Martin Fitzwater and Samson Dauda. Samson, who is like 3 weeks after the Arnold Classic, maybe a little bit more than that, 3-4 weeks. He did not train for 3 weeks after the Arnold Classic. He just started training. I'm sure he's off of everything as well. And Martin is 6 weeks out of Pittsburgh Pro. And honestly, Martin is winning here. Martin is definitely beating Samson Dauda. If this was an actual show, Martin would win. He's definitely in better condition. He's fuller, he's bigger. But again, Samson is in this spot of the year when he will not look his absolute best, obviously. Now, looking at Martin here, his conditioning for 6 weeks out of Pittsburgh is actually amazing. It's actually surprisingly good. You guys, if you guys watch my videos, you probably saw a couple of updates that I made about Martin, and in those, I was kind of worried whether he's gonna make it and whether he's actually even gonna compete, because it really looked like he wasn't in great shape at one point. But here, he looks like he's ahead of time, ahead of schedule. He looks like he's almost stage ready, guys. Like, this is very, very impressive. And also, he looks a lot bigger and fuller than last year. Even though he does look better than Samson right here, I am not saying that he is going to beat Samson at the Mr. Olympia. This is not a peaked Samson, but neither is Martin. I mean, he's 6 weeks out, but he's definitely almost stage ready. Again, Samson took 3 weeks off the gym. He didn't train at all. And I know back when he was working with Milos Sarcev, he was going completely off after each show, after his competitive season. So I'm assuming he did the same thing here, because you can see that he's definitely a lot softer, and he definitely ruined his conditioning from the stage. So he is not in stage conditioning. Yeah, it wasn't a long time since the Arnold, so his conditioning is still pretty good, but it's not as good as Martin's conditioning, and he definitely doesn't have the crazy fullness and roundness that Martin has right now. So again, if this was a show, Martin would definitely win. He kind of destroys Samson here, and I know it's not a fair comparison, but yeah, it's good for Martin, it's bad for Samson. If I was Samson, I wouldn't step on this stage against Martin here. I'm not saying this is gonna ruin Samson's stock or whatever. He kind of did that at the Arnold Classic when he lost to Derek, but this won't really matter. But as far as like what people are seeing, I don't know. If I was Samson, I wouldn't do this. But maybe he thought Martin wouldn't be in such a good shape at this point. But he is, man. Like, he is peeled. He's almost basically stage ready. Look at the hamstrings. Like, look at everything. Everything is just really tight. And again, he also looks a lot bigger, improved. Man, looking at this, I don't know. I might even change my Pittsburgh prediction. I mean, no, I still definitely... I have to have Derek winning. I mean, and I kind of have to say that Nick is going to be in that second, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Martin is looking really, really impressive at 6 weeks out. What do you guys think? Anyways, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. William Bonac wins the Detroit Pro. Matthew Grego wins Classic Physique as well. Martin looks insane for 6 weeks out of Pittsburgh. And Carlos Thomas Jr. seems to be without a coach right now. Whatever your thoughts are, guys, about whichever part of this video, again, comment down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. For more videos about bodybuilding like this, subscribe to my channel, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon. All the best, and bye-bye.